The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to zero. I just wanna be a superhero. So start ignition, count to zero. I just wanna be a superhero.
we are, the penultimate round of a championship which has provided spills, thrills, joy, and substance. That championship trophy is still up for grabs as we welcome you to Phoenix International Raceway, located in Avondale, Arizona, which hosts round 10, the penultimate round of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. All coverage today is on your beloved RaceSpot TV, streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network around the 1.2 kilometer, 0.7 mile clockwise layout of Phoenix. 9 fancy corners out there on the racetrack. Every time we head to this circuit, we have a thriller of an event, a tough tarmac section to begin the lap with a tight braking zone. All the cars will start to form up, and then you see the dirt section begins through the middle part of the lap. That's where the Joker section is present. That is at the top part of that yellow marked track layout there. You'll see the drivers fly over the jump and then loop around to end the lap. We'll see those lap times today registered in the 36 to 37 second range. Good afternoon, everybody. Jonathan Simon on hand at the commentary booth alongside Randolph Cheneth, Hugo Luis behind the scenes in production. Randy, here we are now, penultimate round of the championship. Top 4 drivers in the championship standings, which we'll look at in a second. They're all still mathematically in contention for the championship. There they are on screen, but it's a realistic fight between your top 2 there of Joni Heikkinen and Mitchell de Jong. We didn't expect the championship to be this tight. Everybody back in March was expecting Mitchell de Jong to blow out the series.
It's really, I think, what everyone expected, especially through that first month where we had the iRacing Dirt Nights. Mitchell came in, pretty much dominated that whole championship, and they took 3 months off for the start of 2018 season 1, likely getting prepped, well, 1 for the likes of the World Championship Grand Prix Series and VRS GT Racing World Championship as well. And in that time, I think a lot of people expected him to come in when this championship started up to absolutely just run train on everybody, and just not what he's been able to do. He's had good, strong runs, but he's not shown the dominance that we saw at the end of 2017 and in towards 2018 here in the Rallycross.
And what you're seeing on screen there is Stelian Chepelevsky from Fusion Racing, who's currently in the 3rd position in qualifying ahead of Josh Fox, his teammate. You're top in the championship, not in that order, but they're in your top 4 right now in qualifying. Mitchell de Jong is in the 35 second range in qualifying, a 35.9. We said, Randy, the lap times are going to range between the 36 to 37 second range. That is how quick these drivers are here. World-class talent. And I have to say, this is much like it was last time out at Iowa. Mitchell was so quick, qualified on pole, never lost out in any of the heats or feature races, of course. And that's what he needs here today, a clean event.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs here, is just to have a nice, calm, quiet race where he can at least reel in some points. And Joni Heikkinen currently coming in 2nd place. Remember, it's equally important. We talk about points for the feature round, and we sometimes will talk about the heat races, but this point's on offer for qualifying too. So maximizing your points haul through the qualifying is going to be really important for these guys, considering they come into this race separated by 10 points.
So there we go again, looking at your championship standings on the left-hand side of the screen. Bobby Zelensky had a strong round out last time out, Randy, as we head to Heat 1. We'll have a look at your Heat 1 grid, though, first, and ready to begin action here. There will be 2 heats here today. We'll skip Heat 3, of course. Let's have a look at the grid. So it's Mitchell de Jong who will start on the front row alongside Chepelevsky and Johan Hart in 3rd. They'll be followed by Garrett Lowe, our round 5 winner in this series. Cedric Gesmeyer will be in the 5th position. Rest of the grid will be Zadzon, Clampett, Jorn Jens, and of course, Nathan Lyon. Randy, quickly, tough challenges to turn 1 here?
Potentially. We got a 9-car opening heat race in the top 2 transfer. This is about to get mighty physical, I think, as the field gets themselves set.
We talked about how tight it's going to get into these first few corners, but here we are, ready to go for the 10th time in the inaugural Rallycross World Championship Series for iRacing. You can see the start line parallel to the main straight, something that's very odd in Rallycross. We normally begin the race at a different point to the circuit. Chepelevsky again, 2 rounds in a row, one of the last cars to join. The lights will illuminate. Engines rev, 5 laps of action. And we go green from Phoenix. blistering getaway by Fusion Racing's Chepalevsky. He's already into the lead, and De Jong's being a little bit cautious here into the first corners, but Chepalevsky rockets off the line in the Volkswagen, and what a perfect start in that Volkswagen Beetle there, Randy. But Chepalevsky as De Jong and Lowe head to the Joker and almost make contact.
This is a perfect opportunity here from Stillian as Johan as well as Mitchell de Jong. Johan snags that handbrake as he comes off the Joker. And he may have cost himself a little bit of time. Who's that as well? Cedric Gesmeyer on the Joker lap. Right now it's Stillian Chepalevsky who leads his way sort of in that second pack of cars as, oh, Mitchell de Jong goes around. He makes a mistake coming to start finish. Uncharacteristic by him.
Oh, and that's going to cost De Jong vital points for the championship right now. He's right behind Cedric Gesmeyer, who also collided as well. And here's the replay, of course. There are the two. Gesmeyer in the white Volkswagen. Oh, they hit a tire bollard, and then they both made contact. Just a bit of bad luck there in the end for both of them. But over the jump they go, and De Jong has a lot of work to do here, Randy, to claim maximum points. We already have another car on the wall, and that's Nathan Lyon.
That's not great here for Nathan Lyon. Still Chepalevsky, by the way, also just took to the Joker lap, and he did not get past that number 90 of Johan Hart. So the Stillian, who looks like he may have been leading this race at one point, now cycles into second, and the fight for the lead is close. Logan Clampett has cycled into third. He's jokered as well. Garrett Lowe's at P4. He has yet to take that Joker lap, so he's going to be interesting to see when he eventually takes the shortcut where he can be spat out. But drama for some championship contenders early, and now Mitchell de Jong finds himself P8, trying to work his way as far up this field as he can. He's currently fighting and making a move on Cedric Gesmeyer.
Yeah, here he is, trying to make a move past the driver he collided with at the end of the first lap. This is that section there. Look how close they are in the onboard cam. You thought it was going to be round two. And as Randy said, Lowe hasn't taken to the Joker, so apologies, I called that out on the first lap. It was actually Johan Hart, of course, who leads this race. Garrett Lowe, though, takes to the Joker this time round, we're seeing. And there he is on screen. Where's he going to appear? He's probably already going to be behind the top two right now. As we know, only your top two from this race will advance to the feature, but Garrett Lowe should have good grip position regardless for that consolation race.
Yeah, he definitely should. It's sort of a weird situation we have to have 17 cars and only have 2 heat races. I think normally the split for 3 would be 18, 6, 6, and 6. So I think that's why we have such crowded heats. It's good to see so many cars on track, though, here for the white flag lap. But I think your top 2 likely going to play nice with one another.
Yeah, they don't want to collide. There's no point, no reason to battle. Drivers will take to the Joker if they haven't already on this final lap. One of those includes Jorn Jens. Should feed out in the 4th position, depending on where Logan Clampett is. So we'll keep an eye on that. But there are your top 2. Johan Hart, who has been splendid all season and continues his great pace. The very underrated Johan Hart wins Heat 1, followed by Stillian Chepalevsky. With that start, really made the rest of the race for him. Garrett Lowe and the crew will head to the feature round. Look at Mitchell de Jong, only crossing the finish line now in the 6th position. There are your results on screen. What we mustn't forget, Randy, is even though the championship with the top 2 is the only realistic battle, there's still prizes on offer. I mean, 10K prize pool for the winner, but there's still a lot of cash on offer for your top 5 and the top 10.
Don't forget, people needing to fight their way to maintain their championship status heading into the next season. And oh, by the way, with Mitchell de Jong dropping the ball there, this is a fantastic opportunity for Joni Heikkinen to steal some points. If he can win this heat race, that's going to give him about 7-8 points advantage over Mitchell.
It certainly will. That grid includes Heikkinen, Fox, Parisi, Zelensky, Gerstenberg, Diaz, Shine, and Michael Guest. Lights illuminate. We go green for the final heat race. One of the Subarus, the NX racing car of Phil Diaz, slicing his way through the field. Incredible start there. But have a look at Fox and Heikkinen battling here. Oh, this is going to be bottleneck right now. They're still alongside each other into the first few corners. Fox has to take to the Joker, and smartly does there, Randy. Good choice by Josh Fox.
Definitely was. Good option to take that Joker lap. Phil Diaz flamboyantly taking it, and Flamboyant also isn't fast as he finds his way into the wall right through the Joker lap on the first time. Thomas Gerstenberg, he also has some drama when he goes up and over the jump. So drama on the opening lap for 2 drivers, one who opted for the Joker and one who didn't.
So already another DNF. We've had a couple here today already. One in this heat, another in another, obviously in heat 1. And here's the field, though, still very tight. There's Thomas Gerstenberg on screen, who, on the replay here, yeah, just lost it over the jump. That's a very difficult jump, Randy. And Gerstenberg, we just heard, has just retired from the event as well.
So couple drivers already here as Josh Fox, I believe, will come out with the race lead. Joni Heikkinen just took the Joker lap and did not jump that Vision Racing car of Josh Fox. So Josh Fox, who's had some momentum here late in the series, finds himself out in front in this heat race than Joni Heikkinen. Now what do? You're sitting pretty much in a transfer spot. Do you get aggressive, trying to get as many points as you can and try to make a move on that Vision Racing Subaru? Or do you just stay passive, sit in second, and take the good starting position for the feature?
And that's a great dilemma to face right now. It's a first world problem in Rallycross. Julian Shine, though, is close behind. There he is at the back of this pack there in the third position. Shine, ever speedy, ever passionate. He's already taken to the Joker, so they don't have to worry about him shortcutting his way past the two. Connor Parisi is way too far behind. Hasn't taken to the Joker. I think he's still a bit too far behind to make a difference here. But my goodness, these two need to work together. Fox has had a splendid season. Heikkinen needs to win this championship. He's driven it incredibly well. Only a couple laps to go, Randy, and you have to say it looks like the two of them may be taking it easy.
Definitely seems like it. I will say that one, or Connor Parisi, is going to make it interesting when he takes to the Joker. It's about a 3 or 3.5 second shortcut when you take it. Bobby Zielinski just took it, and he's just barely off the tail of the 46 of Julian Shine. Connor Parisi is about a second further up the road compared to where Bobby was. So when that number one takes the shortcut, I think he's going to jump that 83, probably the 46 as well. He'll be close to the 3 of Heikkinen.
To hit the 4R, Zielinski, who had a great round last time out at Iowa, should have a good position here on this final lap for the consolation race regardless. Heikkinen's going to take it easy. To the Joker is Connor Parisi. Where is he going to end up? Whoa, he almost pins the car on two wheels, Connor Parisi, and contact with Bobby Zielinski. He'll only end up in 5th by the end of this. Michael Guest a little too far behind, but Fox and Heikkinen through to the feature. Shine, Zielinski, Parisi follow. And my goodness, Randy, Connor Parisi could not make that any more entertaining.
I definitely can't criticize him for not trying as he came out of the Joker lap, putting that car up on two wheels. So didn't make up the ground I expected, but it's hard to make up ground when you come up with only two wheels on the floor.
So there are the results on screen. We'll head to the first consolation race. That includes Garrett Lowe, race winner this season, the ever quick and young Logan Clampett, then Jorn Jens, Mitchell de Jong, potential champion, and it's Cedric Gesmeyer and Yorgi Zadzon. That is your 6-car field. The good news for these 6, are that 3 will advance. I gave it away before I said it. I ruined that. But we're going to get ready to go green in a few seconds' time. Well, Garrett Lowe produced some spectacular racing. He's had a topsy-turvy season. Clampett the same. Jorn Jens the same. But for Mitchell de Jong, he needs to avoid the drama. He needs to head his way to the top instantly. Lights illuminate. We go green for the first consolation race. Uncharacteristic quick start in the Subaru by Mitchell de Jong. He may already be in the second position for after starting 4th, but look at the outside here. Logan Clampett trying to make a statement in the other Subaru WRX, but Mitchell de Jong in a second. To the Joker goes Garrett Lowe. What a great start by de Jong.
A great start by one of the Coanda drivers and a terrible one by the other as Jorn Jens went around going through that first corner. So Jorn drops to the back of the field, probably going to be the end of his night. But now Mitchell de Jong, he only has Logan Clampett in his rear view mirror, and he had all the drivers in front of him just take the Joker lap. I think if you're Mitchell right here, you need to wait until this final lap and just hot lap to bring that gap down to Yorgi Zadzon. Because I think if Mitchell does not make the feature tonight, that's officially championship going to Heikkinen.
And the problem is, Randy, not only does he need to make the feature, but he doesn't want to start that feature from like 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. He wants great grid position, so he needs to be aggressive this race.
He definitely needs to, but it's sort of, one peg. He has to fill one accomplishment before he can focus on the next. Right now, the difficulty is just simply making that feature race, and for Mitchell, things are looking good because Yorgi and Cedric just do not have very good pace. It seems like he's doing a good job actually reeling them in before he ever takes the shortcut. Is Mitchell. So maintaining that gap is the main thing he needs to focus on right here, right now. Wait as long as he possibly can in order to really push his advantage. Yeah, it'd be nice to start as far forward as he can, but I'd take starting 10th in the feature race versus not getting in at all and basically handing a nice handy check to Mr. Joni Heikkinen.
What a great camera shot we have here at the final corner as we see your field spread out front. it's all about Garrett Lowe in the first position. Gesmeyer in second, Zadzon in third. Obviously, we're still waiting for a few drivers to take to the Joker. And the first driver in your field who hasn't is Mitchell de Jong in fourth. Will they elect to go for it this time around? There's Jorn Jens with another spin. Doesn't help his cause for a feature race spot. He's definitely out of this event here for round 10. But where's de Jong going to end up? Oh, to the Joker already goes Logan Clampett. And Clampett will end up right now. Where is he going to feed out? In the third position in the lockdown racing car. There we ride on board with Logan Clampett. Could he pull off a move here out front on Cedric Gesmeyer in the privateer Volkswagen? Maybe up the inside. Optimistic contact between the two Robbins Racing boys, and they keep on colliding. Oh, Clampett could end up in huge trouble and collects de Jong as well. De Jong, though, continues. That car is made of bricks.
Mitchell, I don't know what just happened, but he must be the luckiest person on the planet to hold there, and he's going for the race win as he takes the Joker here on the final lap, dealing with Garrett Lowe. Gonna take a run? Will he gonna get it? Yes, he is. Mitchell steal the win in the C-Main.
Oh, wow, great driving from Mitchell de Jong. Aggressive, poised, and he takes consolation race victory. Incredible work by your potential 2018 champion. Garrett Lowe's probably wondering what just happened. I'm in second, and there he is, 0.2 of a second behind. Gesmeyer will advance to the feature race. We say goodbye to Zadzon, Clampett, and Jorn Jens. Goodness me, Logan Clampett could have made it to the feature. Randy, we're going to head to the warm-up right now soon, but
we still got one more main.
Oh, one more main, excuse me. And before we head to this main race, what was Mitchell de Jong doing? I was getting scared for a second. Almost cost himself a spot in the feature race.
He had it all under control. He's the GOAT.
He's poised, isn't he, Mitchell de Jong? One more B main, of course, as we said. Shine in first, Zelensky second, rest of the field behind. Oh, could have been a head start there by Bobby Zelensky. Who knows? He had a great getaway. We ride on board with Thomas Gerstenberg right now through the back of the order. Here they go through the first couple of corners. Zelensky, of course, will lead. But Randy, that could be a penalty ensuing as we see the NX Racing driver, Phil Diaz, in trouble.
Yeah, definitely could be a penalty. Not sure how severe that's going to be. We haven't really seen that play effect at all in the championship. Bobby takes to the Joker lap early, casually finds himself grazing that outside wall as he takes that shortcut in that virtual racing school Subaru WRX. He has a huge margin, and if he didn't jump there, it was an absolutely fantastic start as he's out clear nearly to about 2 seconds of, I believe it's Connor Parisi who runs second and Nathan Lyon third. An uncharacteristic all North American top three as they run through this B-main.
Yeah, so good on the North Americans. They're driving incredibly well. Julian Shine, though, in fourth. The Belgian trying to ruin that for this bunch. He hasn't taken to the Joker, of course, as we know, so he has that up his sleeve. A few other drivers, of course, the same. Here's Phil Diaz trying to slice his way up a few positions. Where's he going to end up when they all appear on screen? Maybe just ahead here of Julian Shine, and he does. So good Joker there from Phil Diaz. The problem is, that Joker only promoted him to fourth. That's not enough to head to the feature.
Yeah, that's going to be unfortunate there for Phil after what happened to him in his heat race. Looked like he might have been in a situation to have a good run, and unfortunately just threw it away in the Joker. He's not very far off Nathan, though, as Julian going to take to the Joker. It's going to upset what has become our all-North American top four, and I believe Julian should spit out somewhere around the race lead, if not second.
To Gerstenberg to the Joker as well. Will that help him? No, he's too far behind Thomas Gerstenberg. But so the rest of the field now, it all comes down to Bobby Zelensky and whether he has a penalty, Randy, because he may be demoted outside the top three when all things said and done.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We have no way of knowing until the actual post-race results go up. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think he probably will because, let's be real, that was the best start we've seen all season as Bobby is keen on, I think, almost on throwing this race away going up and over the jump. The thing is that I think if he has a penalty, pretty much the top four are all close enough to him that that penalty will drop him outside of a transfer spot anyway. He may even cycle in behind the 9 of Phil Diaz.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. This will be the final lap as he crosses the line. Zelensky, who to me drove his best round of his career last time out at Iowa. Driving well today, but it's a jump start that could change things here on the final lap. Behind him, Julian Shine in second, who's driven splendidly. Parisi in the third position, of course, as well. Nathan Lyon in fourth, Phil Diaz in fifth. Gerstenberg in 6th. S takes to the Joker, the last driver to do so this race. Zelensky unofficially will cross the line. Well, let's wait for the final corner.
He does have a penalty.
In first, he does have a penalty, of course. Shine in second. There'll be Parisi in third. So when all things said and done, it could be Nathan Lyon heading to the feature. And let's wait and see for those final race results, Randy.
He's dropped to P7.
Oh, goodness gracious. So your winner for that heat is Julian Shine. And Julian Shine, of course, heads to the feature, like we said, along with Fusion Racing's Connor Parisi. Nathan Lyon for Nexus Esports in the third position. Nathan Lyon has driven splendidly all season, of course, as well. But Shine ruins that North American top 3. Actually, I'll tell you what, it was probably more Bobby Zelensky ruining it with the unfortunate poor start.
Well, I mean, Shine did ruin the North American top 3, but Bobby Zelensky, you're right, he threw away the North American top 1.
So let's have a look at a quick replay here. This is Mitchell de Jong's final lap from the C main. So he's going through the first corner, Randy, here. Now this is where it becomes a tough tussle. Look at Logan Clappett. Oh my goodness, Mitchell de Jong was invincible. He was a brick wall.
Yeah, he was a brick wall when he needed to be one, and he luckily had to go through the Joker, so he didn't have to deal with that drama in front of him. And he comes off the Joker, he just sees open track in front of him, and run-row Fusion Racing logo. Fills the windshield, hey, there's some asphalt over here, I'm going to take it, and that's how you casually transfer your way the best possible way that you can. So now for Mitchell, a nice little mid-pack start for him. Really doing a good job doing damage control. Matter of fact, he might be starting alongside his championship rival of Joni Heiken as they're P4 and 5 on the grid.
Someone please submit that to the iRacing's top 10. One of the greatest final laps I've ever seen in motorsport / esports. Mitchell de Jong takes victory on the final lap of the consolation race and will get amazing grid position. Look at this. This is where I was getting concerned, Randy. I thought you may have either collided with a tire bundle there or touched Garrett Lowe and spun around. And that's why I was concerned. Why take that risk and possibly not make the feature race? But hey, I'm wrong in the end. He won the event.
Sometimes it is the red mist, because I absolutely agree with you. That was a must-transfer situation for Mitchell. You know, the difference between finishing first and second in that LCQ isn't that huge. Regardless, it ended up panning out for him, and he gets the best starting position he could hope for rolling off P5.
Let's have a look at your grid for the final feature race for round 10 of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. Johan Hart will start on the front row alongside Fox and Chepelevsky in the Fusion Racing cars. Joni Heikkinen and Mitchell de Jong, your championship rivals, in 4th and 5th. They'll be followed by Garrett Lowe, Cedric Gesmeyer, Julian Shine, Connor Parisi, and Nathan Lyon in the 10th position. 10 laps of racing action, 1 Joker available to the drivers, of course, as usual. Thanks for joining us on RaceSpot TV, streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network. 1 round to go after this, and we will challenge for the championship. How will this feature race progress? Lights illuminate, engines rev. We go green from Phoenix. Carbon copy start for most of your top 5. de Jong is crucially ahead of his championship rival. Look at the 3 wide into the first couple of corners there. Chepelevsky on 2 wheels as well. Who'll elect for the Joker on the opening lap? The top 2 almost collide. They do have a slight touch, but Hart and Fox make their way cleanly. More importantly, Heikkinen to the Joker, Mitchell to the jump.
It's 6 people who take to the regular lap, 4 people take to the Joker. Johan Hart, Josh Fox, Joni Heikkinen, and Cedric Gesmeyer. They're the quartet that end up taking the shortcut on that opening lap, and Mitchell leads the train of people who took the long way around, and he has himself a gap over the rest of those drivers behind him. Stilian Chepelevsky is the closest. You might maybe worry about him a little bit, but I think with the gap Mitchell has, Mitchell's going to be keen on just trying to hot lap Peter and potentially reel in Cedric, unless someone Jokers and potentially kills that plan. And I see Parisi as well, the Fusion car on the Joker.
Yeah, a lot of drivers taking to the Joker, and as long as de Jong doesn't have traffic, he should be okay, but this is where de Jong might have to think, oh, okay, I might have to take that Joker next lap round. De Jong, who is more than experienced, races Rallycross in the real world, and had some good success there as a young Red Bull driver. Here he is today as Heikkinen in the first couple of corners battling. He's up into 3rd, Joni Heikkinen, but here we go, Heikkinen as well, who has pace, could be impeded by these drivers in front.
Could very well be. Stilian Shibalevsky takes the shortcut as well, and he's a little bit further up the road than those drivers we just saw take the shortcut. So let's see where Stilian ends up spitting out. He comes off the shortcut, and he's going to be ahead of Joni Heikkinen, cycles right in behind Josh Fox in P3. Johan Hart still leading the way in that Race Clutch Subaru, having a brilliant race. But if that's where Stilian came out, where in the world is Mitchell going to come out? Because he has about 2 to 3 car lengths on where Stilian was, and you take 2 or 3 car lengths, you get very close. One to getting ahead of Josh Fox and getting around the likes of Johan Hart. I think I saw Mitchell on the shortcut.
Yep, here's Mitchell in the Joker. Is he going to appear in the lead? This is crucial for the championship. De Jong pushing with excellence, pushing with poise. This is much like the C-Main final lap. A roadblock is Johan Hart, and De Jong doesn't know where to go. He may have an off track from that. De Jong may cost himself here a few spots.
That was definitely aggressive, and will he have any damage from the way he had to punt that tire bollard? I like the aggression from Mitchell. He knows he has a little bit of breathing room over Joni Heikkinen. A matter of fact, what has happened to Joni Heikkinen? He cycled down to P number 9. So the Finnish driver, who looked so good in that purple Volkswagen all season, is just not having the night you would typically expect from him. Nathan Lyon's going to take to the Joker, and that's going to put Joni Heikkinen P10 in this feature race. Things are looking beautiful right now for Mitchell in the championship. We got cars all over the infield.
Oh, goodness gracious. This is at the final corner. This could give Heikkinen a few positions. Oh, he's almost spun around. What a save from Heikkinen, but some spins behind from Shine and Lyon. Oh, Heikkinen. You want to have a heart rate monitor on this Finn. And he's finished anyway, so it's probably at walking pace, but it'd be pretty critical for him right now. Look at the final corner here. Heikkinen, oh, he almost spun around. How did he save that? That's why he's one of the best drivers in the world in Rallycross. And here he is from the onboard view. Just collided there. Great opposite lock, great control, good throttle control as well. One thing I have to say, Randy, is we're hearing word that Heikkinen may have spun at the jump section a few laps to go, and that's where he's lost all these positions.
I think that's what happened to that number 3 car. So he's currently P8 after that little bit of drama in front of him, able to rebound nicely. He also has Connor Parisi in front of him, and maybe smells a little blood in the water as they head up and over the jump here and in towards the last kind of sector here. Mitchell de Jong has also really backed it off, I think, after noticing Joni was getting himself into some drama and into some problems. So I think Mitchell, he's gone from maximizing point situation to making sure that he doesn't throw away a bunch of point situation. He's currently still hounding Josh Fox, but he's not looking nearly as flamboyant doing so as he was before.
And that was the replay on screen of Heikkinen spinning. So that's what happened a few laps ago. And Heikkinen, of course, that may be a championship-changing spin right there. Here's De Jong, though, at the final corner, live right now, trying to make his way past Josh Fox. Fox in front is a winner, don't forget, in this series. And there is a Red Bull driver De Jong in that VRS Commander Sim Sport car, who needs vital points here for the championship, like we've said all around. But Johan Hart here, Randy, with a couple laps to go. Both he and Shepelevsky are 2 drivers I've wanted to see win all season. And I'm hoping Hart keeps it together because he has driven incredibly well for most of his campaign.
Really has, and especially today, it's been an absolutely flawless race from him, pretty much perfect in his heat, and he's looked absolutely perfect through this feature event as well. Through the final corner for the second to last time as he heads down the front straightaway, which has caught out a couple of drivers. He'll take the white flag right here, and now what will Josh Fox and Mitchell de Jong do?
So on this final lap, let's see how this goes. We'll talk about some drama Heikkinen had with Julian Shine later on after the event, but Heikkinen remains unscathed. Shine lost out a lot of ground, so that could have ended up even worse for the Finn. But here are your top 3. Will it remain this way through the final couple of corners? We know how difficult this is at Phoenix. De Jong remains calm. Don't think he's going for it. I think he knows the situation with his championship rival. Johan Hart, though, in for Race Clutch, will take his first victory in the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. He is your victor. The Frenchman driven incredibly well, and what a deserved victory here at Phoenix for the penultimate round of the championship. Josh Fox and Mitchell de Jong will round out your podium. Garrett Lowe driven another great race from him. 4th place, of course, and Cheplevsky rounds out your top 5. But let's put all eyes on this man, Randy, of Johan Hart. The Frenchman I'm so glad for him. He's worked hard all season. He'd been second in the championship at one stage even early on. The 20-year-old gets his first race victory.
Yep, and you can tell he's ecstatic about that as he burns down all 4 tires thanks to the 4-wheel drive into these Rallycross cars, and just sitting in the Joker section right now, loving all that asphalt he has to work with. You'll find a couple other thick places on this track to do donuts, Johan. There's some out there on the tri-oval. He nearly throws it into the outside wall, but that race clutch car, absolutely picture perfect night for him. Pretty much splendid, what we've expected to see from both him and Stilian Cheplevsky at some point this season all year long.
Yeah, exactly. Let's look at your final race results from round 10. Johan Hart for race clutch. The 20-year-old takes his first victory of the season. The Frenchman driven just elegantly all race. He was followed by Josh Fox and Mitchell de Jong, just less than a second behind as well. That's how close it was. Important points for both Fox and de Jong in terms of the championship. De Jong's going for the title. Fox need that prize money. That's pretty much all he'll be focusing on for now. Garrett Lowe for Fusion Racing in 4th, followed by his teammate Stelian Cheplevsky in the 5th position. Look how close it was with your top 5. 3.1 seconds separating 5 cars. Cedric Esmeyer, how has a team not picked up this driver? He's been a privateer all season, and the Frenchman ends up in 6th. Conor Parisi, the American, in the 7th position. Joni Heikkinen with drama in the 8th position. He's a lot better than that, and he knows it. It's a bit of bad luck here today, and he could have been much higher up the order, possibly a race victory had things gone his way. Julian Shine, which we'll talk about that later on, Randy, the collision between Shine and Heikkinen. We'll watch a replay of it, but almost collided with a couple of laps to go, and Shine ended up worse off, but he ended up in 9th. A DNF for Nexus Esports, Nathan Lyon in the 10th position. So, Randy, let's watch this now. This is Julian Shine and Joni Heikkinen in front. This is the lap going towards the incident, but it happened at around the final corner, I think, and this could have made things even worse for Heikkinen, possibly dropped another spot.
I mean, definitely could have. And for Heikkinen, I know the difference between P9 and P10 isn't huge. Or excuse me, P8 and P9 isn't absolutely enormous in terms of points, but still, you need to maximize when you can. You see that one driver. It's actually Joni. I mean, he's sort of the one who kicked off the drama, going super wide through that final sector, fighting with that other car, and then, oh, I see right there. Really does sort of push him into the tire bollard. You know, not only do you have to worry about did Joni dodge a bullet in terms of maybe catching an incident, but is that going to be something the stewards maybe look at post-race? Because the way I look at that is Joni kind of just drove him into that tire bollard.
Yeah, he's it looks like a plane about to take off. And again, oh my goodness. Okay, so not the best incident for Julian Shine there towards the end of the event. But let's have a talk, first of all, to Mitchell de Jong, who came home in the 3rd position. Mitchell, first off, what a relief for you. I want to go back all the way to that consolation race. That made the difference for you in the feature, getting that great grid position with one of the best final laps I've ever seen in my entire lifetime.
Yeah, that was a tight one for sure. I think we cut it a bit too close on the Joker. We were trying to, gain as much as we could, but we ended up catching the cars in front of us, and we lost a lot of time from that. So I thought for sure that we had lost Garrett there, but yeah, it was super tight. It worked out. It was really close to going completely wrong, but it's kind of Rallycross. You have to take those chances. I knew I really needed to get that position after kind of heat 1 went bad with the tires getting lagged out in front of me. But it was quite a challenging one. So to be honest, I can't believe we were this close, and especially with all the damage and stuff, that we were this close to the win even.
Were you getting word from your team as well that Heikkinen was in trouble? And did that sort of change your approach to the race and possibly your aggression as well?
No one said anything. I did see him before I took the Joker, and then suddenly I noticed he wasn't on my relative anymore. But, after I came out of the Joker, with it being that close, I was thinking, okay, now we might have a chance to actually go for the win.
Yeah.
But kind of like this, kind of the same thing happened that I had on lap 1, where Josh kind of turned away from the wall, and then I drove into the wall and got damage. It was the same thing with Johan. He kind of went around the tires, and I just didn't see it coming. Got a slowdown penalty for that, and it was just kind of put it in my brain to, we're in a good position. Obviously, we're ahead of Yoni here, so we're going to gain points. So I just tried to be really smart. The car was really difficult to drive with the damage, and I noticed we were catching, and I had it in my mind, like, just in case something goes wrong and they make a mistake, I'll be ready to make the move. But I wasn't going to force anything. It's so risky trying to go for a move here, because it's pretty one-lined in the final.
And who'd you like to thank? I know the championship's not wrapped up yet, but who'd you like to give your thanks to from the VRS Granda SimSport team who's helped you get up to this point in the series?
Thanks to our spotters, Philip especially, who stayed up again, trying to help us with the Joker strategy. Especially in this race, it was a huge factor having someone else to just chat to while we're doing it. Jorn was there supporting as well after he got unlucky with the consolation, and of course all our partners. Virtual Racing School, Hoisingville Engineering, Andorn Design, SimQuip, VTech, and of course you guys RaceSpot. Also, big thanks to Bobby and Nathan and all those guys again who did a lot of laps, and my other teammates who joined in with the practice as well to wear in the track for us to get some good prep for the race. So really appreciate that.
There you go, Randy. That is Mitchell de Jong, who came home in the 3rd position. Still no Johan Hart to speak to us here today, but I have to say, de Jong, that is absolutely vital to the championship, and he really needs those crucial points ahead of the Finnish driver of Joni Heikkinen. You'll be alongside Josh Fox, who came home one better than Mitchell in the 2nd position.
Yep, we're stood by with the 2nd place driver from Fusion Racing. Josh, it was a pretty picture-perfect night from you, it seemed like. Can't really ask for it to go much better than that. You won your heat race. You got out front early pretty much in the feature, and you were just a few car widths off Johan Hart, all 10 laps of that. Take me through your night.
Yeah, hey Randy, hey Johnny, good to be with you guys again. It was a good, clean night. I was really glad to get the preferred position in the heat race off the first turn. And it's really critical here to maintain that track position, because I'm sure, as you guys saw, there was a ton of mayhem. There's always a ton of mayhem back there at this track, so it's good to stay ahead of it. The race went okay. I gave myself a bit of damage on lap 3 or 4 or something, but I still felt like I could, if I got to Johan, that I could have maybe made a move. A little bit of a questionable Joker entry by him on lap 1, I thought, but it ended up okay for both of us, and good result. Pleased with the P2.
As we get ready for that final race, for the 11th round of the championship, we'll be visiting that Daytona short layout. How do you think things are going to go given that track? Because that's always been one of the tracks, it seems, that is really difficult to get side-by-side racing on. It's basically you either make passes by the Joker, it seems like, or that's pretty much all you can do. You basically have to sit single file. This championship going to be close going into the final round, and everyone racing potentially to keep their license going into the championship in 2019. You think we're going to see some pandemonium down in Florida?
It seems like there's a good chance of pandemonium almost every race. Doesn't matter where we are, but I think the plan, unfortunately for me, I was absent for 1 round, and so that was pretty much my drop week, and so I don't think I'm quite eligible for the championship anymore. But the goal is the same as always, to qualify well. I know Stellian and I are tight in the points, so I think we'll both try to qualify well. Maintain good grid position for the heat and feature, hopefully, and just try to get the best finish we can.
Thanks for joining us, Josh. Congrats to you in that Fusion Racing car. You've come on strong at the end of the year. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that whole group?
Yeah, thank you. Really got to put a big thanks to everybody. We put 5 drivers in the feature tonight, which was awesome to make up half the grid with only 1 team. So I got to thank all those guys. We worked really well together. Jeff Applegren, Terry Rennert spotting us tonight, doing a really great job. Terry Rennert for the paint as well. I got to thank you guys for the awesome broadcast, iRacing, and thanks to all the viewers too. Really appreciate it.
There he was, Fusion Racing driver of the number 5 Subaru this week. He comes home in the 2nd spot. Johnny, you have your pick. We have a Stillian and we have a Garrett Lowe on hand. Which one do you want?
Oh, I didn't even see Garrett Lowe jump in. I'll speak to Stelian Cheplevsky, who came home in the 5th position. We're chopping and changing here today because Garrett Lowe was ahead of him. But Stelian, again, good race from you, of course, as well. You seemed in qualifying to figure things out this round. You started the second in that Heat 1 feature. I guess if there were 3 heats here today, could that have changed your result?
Yeah, good evening, boys. Yeah, as I said, I have big problem on quality because of my heart rate, and I study few things, so I probably managed this time to give my best on the quality, doing some exercises, and then very surprisingly on the start I jumped chill, and even if the Subaru makes a little better start, I did get the spot, which surprised me so much. That was probably super good reaction on the start line. And then I know already that Johan was super quick tonight. I know it was going to be super difficult, and when I say I'm second spot, I just still give my best, but try to maintain that position and go through the final.
Can I say, of course, though, Johan Hart grabs victory here today, and he's driven phenomenally all season. You're like one of the last drivers left who really deserve a victory in this series, who is always close enough. You have to feel happy for him, but surely there's a little bit inside you of not, I don't want to say jealousy, but you just really wish that was you, out there in P1.
To be honest, till an hour ago, I was feeling that I have the speed to win, but then I joined practice with him, and I see some crazy times. And guys, the boy have made some brutal setup on the Subaru, and he was super quick. I was already sure that I'm back, and I have to work a lot again on the Subaru, and maybe try to figure it out, because the difference between all those cars is the Subaru is a lot more stable on the tarmac sections. It's very stable on braking, and then you always have a little bit more grip on the gravel. But when the track actually gets a lot of use, then it's super difficult to drive because it's quite long car, and if you not stay on the perfect line, the clean one, you can lose, like, for one little mistake, a half second. That's why I'm always between the Volkswagen and the Subaru. But because I already practiced a week with the Volkswagen, I decide just to stay and see what's gonna happen. But yeah, definitely Johan deserved that victory. He was super quick tonight.
And who gets it done for you from Fusion Racing and the crew? Who'd you like to thank?
Oh, everybody. The team is into my heart. I love that team, and I love we are super friendly group, and we have super nice colors made from Ethereum and Joe, who put us all together. And then I want to thank you again for the brilliant show you put every time, and iRacing for the service. So thank you, everybody.
The ever sweet Stelian Cheplevsky there, Randy, who comes home in P5. You'll be stood alongside Garrett Lowe, who will be our last interview for the day, in the 4th position.
Yep, last interview today. And Garrett, only first question that really comes to mind: how robbed do you feel following that last chance qualifier? Because Mitchell basically took victory right out of your hands coming off that last lap joker.
Yeah, me and my team were not very happy about that move. We felt it was a little unnecessary. I mean, I understand it's a grid spot, and that's great and all, but at the end of the day, I mean, he really didn't have a need to do that. But I mean, I understand he's out here racing for a championship, and I'm just trying to improve my positioning in the standings. So I just needed to make the feature tonight. That was my goal, and I did that pretty easily in the LCQ. I was able to just get away, and I wasn't too happy with him doing that. But I mean, it's racing; it's gonna happen, and it didn't wreck us both, so that's fine.
Final round of the championship coming up. You've had a pretty good season, stealing a race win and definitely showing a bit of momentum here late. Going to that final round, what's sort of the Garrett Lowe preview? What do you think we're going to see out at Daytona Short?
I'd love to go to Atlanta. I think we all would, but Daytona, I'd be interested to see being the first and last weeks of the season. I think it's going to be a kind of a progression thing to see where people have gone over the course of the season and maybe who's picked up speed. And I hope to find myself somewhere in the top 5 again, just have a nice solid night and hopefully top 5 in the championship. But we'll just have to see how it all shakes out. It's going to be pretty chaotic. I think people are going to want to go for some moves that, it's championship night, so the drama might be ramped up just a little bit more.
Thanks for joining us, Garrett. Congratulations on the P4. Before we let you go, we've already asked this question because you guys have, you had pretty much half of the feature grid. You have half of the interviews as well. Who gets it done for you guys at Fusion Racing that Josh and Stillian forgot?
I think they hit everybody. Yeah, just thanks everybody at Fusion Racing. Appreciate all their help and support to this whole Rallycross thing. Terry for the good paint, Jeff Applegren for spotting. He does a great job. And Terry as well, just kind of helping keep us safe on the racetrack every week. And being able to have these good finishes week in, week out.
There he was, Garrett Lowe, finishing in P4. I think happy to at least just sort of rebound himself a little bit. But, Johnny, that was an entertaining night of racing, and it sets us up for a tight point situation going into Daytona.
It certainly is. Let's look at the point standings to go into the final round, and there is the 2-point lead round on that as well. But Mitchell de Jong in the championship going into the final round, you couldn't have asked for a better fight than this.
Yeah, and the thing is that this is going to be even more difficult than most of the world championships we cover. I've covered races where there's 3 or 4 or 2 points separating people, but in those championships, you don't have points on the line for qualifying, and you don't have points on the line for heat races. So the points are going to change, even if Mitchell and Yoni are in different heats. If one of them wins the heat and the other one finished second, that's going to change things. The way they qualify is going to change things. It's going to be a very difficult night to follow and keep track of. But I think what's pretty much, what'll bail us out is I think that they're so close to one another that it's pretty much going to be whoever outfinishes who in the feature race is going to be our champion at Daytona.
And, of course, Josh Fox mathematically out of contention, so it is going to go down to your top 2 heading into the final round. But that is it for your penultimate round, round 10 of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series. The next event will be in a couple of weeks' time. That will be on the 25th of October until we head to the Daytona International Speedway, which hosts round 11, the final round of the inaugural Rallycross World Championship Series for iRacing. Coverage will begin, of course, at 1 a.m. GMT. That is 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It will be on RaceSpot TV, streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network. Thanks to all you viewers, of course, for joining us for today's broadcast. The best viewership we've ever had today, by far. I've been reading some of the comments from everybody. Lots of passion out there, of course, as well. I'm Jonathan Simon, alongside Randolph Cheneth, Hugo Luis in production. Thanks, of course, to our production team of Istvan Ballo, Andrea Swerner, Simon Grossman, and Nick Thiessen for all their splendid work behind the scenes. Because this has been a RaceSpot TV presentation broadcasted on the iRacing Esports Network. We say so long from Phoenix. We'll see you at Daytona.